All right, thanks, Brandon. Well, the immigration debate is heating up right now in the nation's capital as the U.S. Supreme Court could rule on SB 1070 as early as today. And if you aren't 100% sure what the Supreme Court is ruling on, we want to break down really the four provisions that they are considering in this bill. First of all, Section 2B of the bill requires state and local police officers to attempt to determine the immigration status. And then in Section 3, it makes it a crime for unauthorized immigrants who don't apply for registration. In Section 5C, it makes it a crime for immigrants who are not authorized to work in the U.S. to apply for work or take work. You see people out on the construction and things like that. That's not possible either. And then lastly, Section 6 authorizes state and local police to arrest immigrants without warrant where probable cause exists. Now, there's a lot to debate with these four issues, and to prepare for the decision, police officers across the state will be issued training material to really help them understand the law. ABC 15's Brian McElhatton is live outside the Arizona Post building for us in Phoenix, where officers are going to receive those training DVDs. And let's start with that from the very beginning now, and the executive order, and what this will really mean as we move forward here.
Well, Connie, good morning to you. It essentially tells those police officers how to enforce SB 1070. In fact, in just a matter of hours, many of those officers will be coming here to the Peace Officer Standard and Training Board to pick up some training DVDs that they'll have to watch. And I actually have a clip for one of those DVDs, if I can show it to you now. It looks a lot like a corporate training video you may have had the pleasure of viewing while at work. Now, these videos explain what the laws are, how to enforce them, and most importantly, what not to do. Now, this is video from AZ Post, and it hammers home not to racially profile. It also outlines what constitutes as reasonable suspicion that someone is in the country illegally, along with what are acceptable forms of identification. Now, keep in mind the U.S. Supreme Court has to make a ruling on SB 1070 before the law actually goes into effect, at least the enforcement portion of that law. And the Supreme Court will be trying to decide if Arizona's SB 1070 can stand alone as a state law. That's the big question here, Connie. That ruling, as you said earlier, could come down as soon as today, and we'll watch it for you and let you know what those justices do decide, Connie.
Arizona looking at this very closely, and 5 other states that have similar SB 1070 bills on the books right now, too. All right, thank you, Brian. Now, depending on how the Supreme Court decision really goes, our state's police agencies could be facing several lawsuits, really from both sides of this debate. Opponents of SB 1070 are likely to sue police departments on claims that officers are racially profiling people, while supporters of the bill can claim that police agencies have broken a law if they restrict the enforcement of SB 1070. We're going to keep our eye out on any lawsuits that are forming after a decision is made, and that could come today. Now, the fallout continues as members of both parties weigh in on the Obama administration's new immigration policy. As we brought you breaking news on Friday morning, the Department of Homeland Security now stopping deporting young illegal immigrants if they meet certain criteria and requirements. And President Obama says the policy is fair and more efficient. Republicans, on the other hand, say this is just a political move in a political season. Athena Jones is live in Washington now with the very latest on this debate. Good morning, Athena.
Good morning, Connie. So Republicans are really angry at President Obama for this. They're calling this an end run around Congress that they believe will create more fraud, encourage more illegal immigration. And there are some Republicans who are questioning President Obama's legal authority to make a policy decision like this. Now, presumptive nominee for the Republican Party, Mitt Romney, weighed in on this over the weekend, also calling it a political move. Let's listen to what he had to say.
What the president did, he should have worked on this years ago. If he felt seriously about this, he should have taken action when he had a Democrat House and Senate, but he didn't. He saves these sort of things until 4.5 months before the general election.
So there you have it, Connie. Republicans like Mitt Romney and others saying this is political. The White House says it isn't political. They're just doing this because they believe it's the right thing to do. Connie?
The timing of it, very suspect for a lot of people who oppose this, and we'll see what happens if it holds as we keep moving forward. Athena, thanks so much for the latest from Washington there.